What is good, y'all? We're back again with the second down. We're talking about the coaches for three Pacific teams. You know, a lot of news about these coaches going on. Tim back again, Mike back again, Dula back again, Josh back again. Let's get it on.
I'm gonna love this quarter. This is my favorite quarter right here, man. Oh, it's so sweet news. Let's save the best for last, of course.
Hi, Vanessa
Woo, woo. Let's go. Sean Payton is a rumor saying, all right, Sean Payton might be out with the Saints. He might be out. There's also a rumor saying that if Sean Payton was to go, he would take Drew Brees with him. Okay, now what team would benefit the most if you could have Sean Payton and Drew Brees in a package? A team right now that needs a head coach that their coach is getting fired by Monday.
You know what? Y'all gonna call me crazy. You know who came to mind? I don't know if he's gonna be fired yet, but Detroit. I think Detroit could really use a little bit of breezes in their team. They've had the offense, they got the young running back, and they have a coach who cares because I still don't think that Caldwell has woken up at all this year. I think he's still sleeping. So I would probably roll with that. Also, I mean, if you want to go a little far out west, I think you got, especially if they get rid of that no-talent-ass clown Jeff Fisher, because we all know how I feel about him and his, I almost want a touchdown by stretching out from Derrick Mason ass. Can't stand him. If he gets kicked out, as he should get kicked out because he sucks at coaching, then I think the Rams would do really well with a little bit of Breezes and a little bit of Sean Payton. Those are the two teams that I came up in my mind, especially if you want to stay in the NFC.
Okay.
So here's why it won't be Detroit. And nothing against Sean Payton, nothing against Drew Brees. It's twofold, actually. One, we have a quarterback, Matt Stafford. And if you look at Matt Stafford post Joe Lombardi, who, by the way, was an assistant under guess who? Sean Payton. Matt Stafford's posting like a 100 quarterback rating. So I think the organization is looking towards, at least keeping Jim Bob Cooter on to, see if this whole thing with Stafford is a one-season thing or if this is a continual improvement.
Okay.
I gotta say, if I were picking a team, I would say the Cleveland Browns. And the reason being, I think, and they cycle through coaches like no other because, frankly, if you look at their most recent, coaching hires, these are guys with not much behind them in terms of coaching pedigree. You got Pat Shurmur, you got Mike Pettin, you got Rob Chudzinski or however you say his last name. You got all these guys. Who else? Eric Mangini. If you bring Sean Payton on, you're bringing on a guy who's won a Super Bowl. You're bringing on a guy who's led a prolific offense. The problem in New Orleans isn't the offense; it's that the defense has been historically bad the last 2 or 3 seasons. If I had to pick a team, I would say bring him and bring Brees too, because I don't think the organization is sold on Johnny Manziel. I don't know why not, but I just think I think that would be the best fit for Sean Payton.
That's a good look.
I think it would be real interesting to see Brees in the teal and orange. Could you imagine Drew Brees slinging it in Miami to Jarvis Landry, Devontae Parker, and you got Lamar Miller if they can actually retain him and convince him to come back? I mean, that's Brees is working with young guns down there, and he's going to have those boys putting in work in camp, learning that offense, learning his chemistry, learning his arm work, his release, everything. He's just one of those QBs that just demands you to be at practice and put in more work than what's actually required, just like a Peyton Manning does. I just think that could be a very good fit, actually. It opens it up offensively. It brings out what Tannehill hasn't been able to do this season, really. And they have a defense they can work off. Yeah, they have some flaws here and there, but what defense really doesn't at this point in time? So I think it could be really interesting seeing them switch up or even mix up the AFC East a little bit, put some drama out there.
Well, you know what? You know what? I'll tell you right now, Dulles, that'd be something if Sean Payton, because he does want a GM spot as well. He wants to be able to control the moves of the team. So him going to Cleveland when
Yeah,
Ray Farmer, Ray Farmer just got cut. I mean, just got released. I'm Payton going over there with Drew Brees. The plan will be for the Browns to draft a quarterback. Let him sit back for at least 2 years to learn behind Brees and the system. And you know they already got Barnage. They already have I mean you got Benjamin probably is the one of the best offensive weapons over there. Sean Payton would then have to just build that team up, but it's a good start. You have a solid quarterback, and you know you see what he worked with this year.
You have a very good offensive line, and you also have a defense probably underrated.
Right. Okay. So how about this now? Let's jump into. I mean, I like the move. Now I'm gonna tell you this. Just my prediction. If Sean Payton was to get cut, was to leave the New Orleans Saints and leave without Drew Brees, and I hate to say this, I think he will be going to the New York Giants. That's what I don't want. That's what I don't want. And I see Josh right now. His eyes are twinkling. You know, with that right there.
It would never happen.
No, don't be mad, Josh. Don't be mad. It's okay, Josh. It's all right. We only predicting, man. It's all right.
All right.
You know, but I really do think that's what happened. That will happen because I mean he came from over there. The good thing he's part of the Parcells family tree. You know, don't get me wrong. I would love him in Dallas. But I think if he was to go anywhere with Miami Dolphins too is another one. Those are the two teams I have. If he goes without Drew Brees, but let's jump into Mike Holmgren.
Yeah,
Mike Holmgren is rumored to go back home to the 49ers. Now I'm gonna tell you this real quick. You know, I don't know how they GM Jed York is, and I do know, like, Sarita, Nate Cobbs, and Reginald, they always said this guy's an idiot. They don't like the GM. I don't know the relationship he would have with Holmgren, but I'll tell you this. Just for Holmgren's pedigree, he's an old-school coach. He will change the culture with the 49ers. But I'm going to tell you this. Kaepernick is out of there. Kaepernick is gone. He goes over there. I think it's a great move.
I think it'll work out. I mean, you know, it's funny. I feel like every year we sit down and there's 3 coaches that always come back. That's kind of like chilling in the cut because they're not dead yet. You know, you got your Mike Holmgren, you got your Brian Cowher, and your Bill Cowher and Brian Billick. Like, these are 3 big names that we all kind of feel like they don't really care about announcing, and they're just waiting for their shot. So for one of the 3, Mike Holmgren, to come back out there, I think that works. Because I think the biggest issue, especially in 49ers, was when you heard of John Tomsula, you're like, who the hell is that guy? And guarantee you, we weren't the only ones saying it. Like, the team was saying that. The team was like, who the hell is this guy? Now, Mike Holmgren, if you in that fraternity of the NFL, you know who Mike Holmgren is. So that's that at the very least. Starting off with that respect, that's what you need to do to rebuild, especially when you got great players retiring in a day. So I think it's a good look for him.
At first, I was a little resistant to the idea of Holmgren, but it's actually a good idea. Here's why. If you bring him in, again, he has that pedigree, he has that respect, he has that clout. So now he can bring in position coaches and coordinators. That's something Tomsula can't do because he doesn't have the Jim Tomsula coaching tree. Who is on that tree? Nobody. On that tree. But Mike Holmgren has a tree, and a very extensive one. And it's similar to what Jim Harbaugh did when he went to Michigan. Because of the name and the pedigree and his time in the NFL, he was able to, poach and get a DJ Durkin or, kind of some sexy hires. I think that's a good idea. Do I think Jed York is an idiot? No. I think he was looking for a yes man. That's why Jim Harbaugh got jettisoned. And I think in a way that's why some of those players left. Because, I really think Jed York kind of fits his profile of kind of an egotistical guy. So, no, I think Holmgren would be a great look for the 49ers. And, they have some talent. I think they just need to be managed a little better and way better than what Thomas Sula can do.
Yeah, I really can't knock. I mean, I can't knock it until I see, what he does with it. I'm not gonna crucify the guy until I can see him come in and do something positive or see how it turns out. But at the same time, I was kind of like Dula. I was like, why are they gonna bring this guy? He's been away from the game 7 years. And, all the talk about cowards. He's been away for 9. On Twitter, people are asking Tony Dungy, will you please coach my team? I mean, but thinking about it, these are coaches. They've been around the game since they were like 23, 20, 15 years old. Especially Holmgren, I was looking at his resume. He was coaching since he was 23 years old. Started out in high school, worked his way up. But at the same time, I don't believe these people on the internet and the message boards that say, well, he's been away from the game too long. He doesn't know this era of football. He can't coach anymore. Listen, if you're a coach and you know the game and you're continuously watching the game from the box or your home or the whatever you're seeing it from, you're still up to date with how the NFL is running and how the game is schemed. So what is people saying that, oh, he's not going to be able to coach because he's been away since 2005 or 2008? I mean, that doesn't make sense to me. I say give the guy a chance. It brings in a new face. Everyone wants Tom Sula out. No, can't even imagine how he got there in the first spot. The guy was sweating at his press conference.
Hey, Josh, you respond on my comments, man?
Did you just make those tonight?
I plead the fifth.
Yo, yeah, no, see, because like people who saying that have such a limited view of what really.
You know what it. You know what
it is? Saying on the Giants message boards because I read them too daily. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're gonna get rid of Coughlin. Who would you like to see? Bill Cowher." And then people are like, "Bill Cowher's been away for 9 years. You idiot! Shut up!" And it's just
that doesn't help. That doesn't mean
you know how to ride a bike. You get back on the bike and get the feel of it. You're good again.
No, well, here's the thing. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite, but because I know you was like a lot of the fans was calling out to these old coaches who've been away from the game. I did call for Jimmy Johnson, so I'll take full responsibility for that one. But I'll tell you this: you want those old school coaches because it's gonna bring back the toughness on the team. This is the thing this is a sensitive era of football. Like they cry for no reason. I mean, the guy number 32, I promise I won't say his name, number 13, and Josh Norman. Again, people say, well, Kof is a bad man because he let it happen. He's an old school coach. There was worse things happening on the field than that.
Yes.
I mean, my God. I mean, what kills me is if you're 21 years old and you're 25 and you just started watching the game, or if you're a female and you just you like a team because of their colors, and you don't know shit. Excuse me. Don't comment. This is a man's game. We're from the old school era. I don't. Oh, he hit too hard. Oh, he touched me 5 yards. All this baby stuff. What happened with Josh Norman? What happened with Odell? It's normal. I was so entertained. That was a pay-per-view football. That was how football was every game. When these players of Google or his wife did what? His wife is sleeping with the next man. I'm gonna use that on the field. They were using that on the field. Yo, listen. I'm going to sack you, and I'm going to sleep with your wife. They were using that. And guys did, word, I got you too. And they just played. It wasn't that, social media. Now you want to have Deion Sanders coming, high-stepping. I want to talk to both of these guys and let them relax. It's not nice. Well, we men. We duke it out. Oh, hold on. How about this? Look. Hold on, Sean. Hold on, real quick. Oh, you got beef? Oh, I'm going to Twitter you right now. I'm going to punch you in your eye on Twitter. Look, what's up? What?
Let's not be Mill now.
Come on.
Twitter fingers. But now,
hold on.
The biggest issue, what's the funniest thing? It ain't even really about the skill positions. I think the way they're judging the skill positions is fine. The biggest issue that no one's talking about is that no one's hitting anymore. And if it was hitting, these old linemen are dropping like fruit flies. Like, if you notice, remember when we used to watch the game, the same 5 used to rock all season. Tell me if I'm wrong. But if you had a starting five, losing a center or losing a guard was like, oh, dang, what are we going to do?
You barely saw that.
But you know what?
2-3 gone.
Let's move on to Chip Kelly. Let's move on to Chip
Yeah,
Kelly.
but listen. Yeah. Speaking of Chip Kelly, I know. You know what? I know we may not be ESPN or Fox Sports News, and you got some fans, some bozo fans who like to comment and say we don't know crap. Well, I know one thing. We all said this year Chip Kelly will be fired, and he will be going to tennis. He got fired not on Black Monday. Not on Black Monday. He got fired on White Tuesday. And White Tuesday. Hey, what's so funny about this is that he gets fired. Jeff Lurie comes out and says, you know what? I'm going to fire you so you have time to apply for the Tennessee Titans job on Monday because their coach will be fired. Hey, he will be reunited with Mariota. Damn, we good. We good. We good. We all said this beginning of the season. We all said
this. To cut you off. So you was fired on Tuesday. So should we start calling him Craig from Friday?
We call him Craig.
You got fired on your day off.
On a day off on Tuesday. On White Tuesday.
What you doing, Craig Kelly?
You know what? I was trying because when I have a decent drive home, and I was really trying to understand. Colin Cowherd, I'll put it out there. He's probably one of my favorite announcers. I know some people hate him, whatever. Whenever he would talk about Chip Kelly, I would really try to get where this man was coming from. And you know what? By the fifth time this man, Colin Cowherd, tried to fillet Chip Kelly's coaching skills, I couldn't do it. I was like, yo, they're all gone. The best players are all gone. And he's literally the reason why they're all gone. It's not like, oh, they got injured. It's not like, oh, they went for more money. He literally said, hey, you're great at football. Get out. He literally did that. Matt. He just literally said, wow, you're really good. How about you go to another team? And it was nothing. And then no matter what Colin Cowherd can say, talking about his capitalism and the smart people and the blah, 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 I just said, no. You don't get rid of your best players because it's a talent league. I don't care about your systems. I don't really care about your thoughts. It's a talent league. Evan Mathis is a talented dude. Now, I don't have to talk about the black players. He kicked out all the good players. My good lord.
I want to echo that because, you do remember when the Detroit Lions went 0-16 in 2008. If you look back at that roster, that looked like a JV football team. It had zero talent on that roster. When your most talented player was Calvin Johnson.
Oh, forgot all his name.
The next talented player was John Kitna. So that should tell you something about the roster. And listen, much respect to Rod Marinelli, but I don't know what he was thinking. I really don't. I don't know what the train of thought was there. But Chip Kelly, you know what? I have nothing against Chip Kelly. Let me tell you why I have nothing against Chip Kelly. I think Chip Kelly's a great coach. He's a great college coach. He needs to go back to college and stay in college. You should never. You should. So the whole. No. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why it doesn't work in the NFL. Chip Kelly. Well, first of all, you don't want to give this man any control over your personnel. So that was the first problem. You never let head coaches, lead your. It doesn't work. The only time it's worked is Pete Carroll. All right. It's failed numerous times. So let's just not ever let him do that again. His no-huddle offense. Nothing wrong with the no-huddle offense. Here's the problem with no-huddle offense. He only ran about 15 to 20 plays. Make it easy. Fair enough. But if I'm a defensive coordinator and I'm studying tape and I see you run the same 15 to 20 plays, I don't care how fast you're getting the ball off, eventually I'm going to figure you out. No different with the Wildcat. No different when RG3 tried to do the read option. You get figured out quickly. So what happened? You get figured out. Couple that with the fact that he was a little too rigid in the type of players. Defensive lineman had to be a certain physical mold. His cornerbacks needed to be at least 5'11", et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. all these measurables, but at the end of the day, it just doesn't work because, like you said, there's no talent. You have to have talent to execute this. Nothing against Sam Bradford, but no. Nothing against LaShawn McCoy, but I guarantee you running behind that line in Philadelphia was way different than, and you know why? Because of talent.
Yeah, Tim, I know you're leaking with Des Bryant passion right now, and you want to say something, but I'm going to let you get to that in a minute. What I want to say is basically that Chip Kelly, you had the fastest offense in the NFL this season. All right, check. All right, and then you went ahead and you acquired your players that you wanted this season, correct? Yes, check. And you happened to just fall flat on your face this season with everything that you wanted, check. What you failed to realize, Chippard, is that this is the NFL. This isn't college players that you are going up against daily and every weekend. What you failed to realize, Chippard, is that these players on the field, all 11 of them, are premier players. They're not from San Diego University of Lake Community College Tavern online university. Okay, Chip, this is the problem. And this is exactly why you ended up with the record you did this year and having Sam Bradford, who probably can't even squat the bar, as your starting quarterback this year. So you probably should go back to college. You're like a Nick Saban. You'll flourish there, but you won't flourish here. So you need to get back on track with what you're good at, and that's college.
That's not to mention, you have to have a certain personality to be an NFL coach, and he did not have that personality.
On that note, folks, we got to move on to the next town. We ran out of time, but make it quick.
Real quick, I got to add this in. I think Chip Kelly needs to stay in the NFL. And I'm going to tell you this. He's going to win if he goes to the Tennessee Titans. I'm going to predict that. I know me and Cooper were talking about that yesterday. He's going to win if he got Mariota. The key thing to that offense is to make defense second guess. When they run that option, you're going to either pitch or go after the quarterback.
Thank God. It's not going to work.
That was like Kellen Moore in the last drive. Here we go.
He's going to kick out everybody but Mariota and then try when Mariota tears his ACL. And the damn quarter, and then this damn logic. Send him back to college.
All right, guys. I think you just scared Tim away. Tim is back.
Chip Kelly's going to Tennessee. He said, Houston.
All right, guys.
You know what? Hold on. You know what, DeMarco Murray? I know this is you, DeMarco Murray. You hate him, right, Murray? Because you ain't with the Cowboys no more, right? Because you didn't get 100 yards. You know what? Danny McFadden is only 40 yards for 1,000, Murray. How many yards you got? Huh? Think it's funny, huh?
Tim. We're going to the next. We're going to the last down.
Shutting me out again.
I understand.
We'll be right back.
Hold on.
We'll be right back.
Hold on. I'm going to Twitter DeMarco Murray again. What? I'll meet you in the other thread right now.
You meet
one-on-one in the thread.
Tim, you meet Millen?
Turn to
Tim, you meet Millen? All right, folks. We'll be right back for the second down.